Hello kids, Sean here again, mostly metal. Today we're going to talk about music DVDs, part 1. I have a lot of old DVDs. I have another stack. I think I have 2 to 3 stacks. Well, this will be part 1. Anyway, this in the background, I mentioned in, I think it was my Dark Throne video, been kind of burnt out on metal a little bit, with the exception of Dark Throne. So, been jamming to House of Harm, Vicious Pastimes, as I mentioned in my previous video. Very Cure-ish, electronic, dark wave type music. It came in a handmade plastic bag with a sticker and then a visual pastime. So it's kind of a cool little booklet that shows, pictures of the band, some lyrics in here too. It's kind of cool to get a package, so to speak, like this with the band. They put some time and effort into this, which is always appreciated. Some interesting, dark, soulful lyrics. So if that kind of Cure, like I said, dark synth type with little dancey type beats in it, I think you'd be a huge fan of House of Harm. I will link it below like I always do. But we're here to talk about DVDs. I've been collecting music DVDs for many years, and I hung on to them mainly because a lot of these are things that I like to watch from time to time that are not being produced on Blu-ray. So I would always, of course, like to have a more high-quality version of some of this stuff, but the budgets for a lot of these bands just don't warrant putting out a Blu-ray. Blu-rays are expensive to make. So with that, we're going to jump into it. The first release here is Double Live Bootleg from Acid Bath. This came out on Rotten Records many years ago. Don't remember how many years ago, unfortunately. This is the innards. Shows some other releases from the record label. It's ran by the dude, I think it's Spike Cassidy from DRI. If you look in there, you can see a lot of DRI releases for sale. And there's the picture of Acid Bath with the credits. This has a lot of live stuff on it. It's got some rehearsal stuff in it, which is really cool to hear some of the songs, mainly from their first album and how they came to be. There are some stuff, some songs in here from Pagan Terrorism Tactics, which was one of my Desert Island albums, if you recall. So yeah, if you can find this, I doubt you'll find it in a store anywhere, but I'm sure you can find it used out there. Great stuff to have. It's just, it says here, Double Live Bootleg is not just a clever title, it's an authentic official bootleg in the truest sense of the word. So it was basically home movies and whatnot put together. So if you're an Acid Bath fan, check that out. Next up, this one actually might be a Blu-ray. I don't remember. I'll have to look. No, it is a Blu-ray. Didn't realize that. But this is a May It Last, a portrait of the Avett Brothers. If you don't know the Avett Brothers, they're kind of a country folkish act. It's inside. This was created by Judd Apatow. He's known for being a Hollywood director. He's done some comedies and whatnot, but this is kind of a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the album May It Last. It's kind of cool, or no, not May It Last, it was, what was it, True Sadness, maybe. Behind the scenes, they worked with Rick Rubin on this album, and it was kind of cool to see a band come to the studio with songs and kind of hash the songs out. The band was kind of at a weird time in their career. They were getting really popular, obviously with Judd Apatow directing, producing, whatever. But one of the guys was going through a divorce. Another guy was getting married. I think the other guy was having some major health issues, or his kid, I think, was having some health issues, if I remember right. So it's kind of a behind-the-scenes look to kind of show some of the true trials and tribulations of life that come through on the songs on True Sadness. It's probably the last album of theirs I really liked. But it's kind of the whole range of emotions of life and death and breakups and you name it that comes out in their songs. So if you are a fan of that kind of stuff, and if you're a fan of especially the Avett Brothers, I got to see them live before anyone really knew who they were in a bar in Chicago, and there was something special about them. I was like, man, why aren't these guys more popular? Well, now they're playing fucking huge arenas and whatnot. So shout out to them. Good for them. They did it the right way. Next up is Tim Barry and La Par Force live. Tim Barry is the vocalist for the band Avail that I have talked about many times. This is a journey that Tim and La Par Force, a few shows they did in, I think it was it London? Yeah, in the London area. Tim Barry went on to do solo stuff, more folky, country-ish type music, which I enjoy most of. I wish Avail would get back together, of course, but I think those days are gone. They did reunite 2-3 years ago to play some live shows, but I couldn't make it. But I kind of have I didn't want my past Avail live experiences to potentially be tainted. Sometimes these reunions, you just don't know how they go. I saw some of the live videos on YouTube, though. It looks like it was a lot of fun. So if you're a Tim Barry fan or a La Par Force fan, check this out. It's good stuff. Nice live, raw material. Next up is a country band you may not have heard of, BR549. It Ain't Bad Work for a Job, or It Ain't Bad for Work If You Gotta Have a Job, Volume 1. BR549, I believe, out of Nashville, Tennessee. One of those country bands that are true country and never quite got the recognition I think they deserved. I believe this was slapped together and produced by the band themselves. Jay McDowell, he put it together for the band. In the receipt, he signed it and put that inside the DVD, so that was a nice personal touch. Great, real, solid country band. Some of the best country musicians out there. Chuck Mead, who's the guy there in the middle, he's still doing solo stuff, which is also great. If you like traditional country, not the, I say it all the time, not the bullshit that you hear on the radio. If you happen to listen to country radio, you'll really, really enjoy BR549. I'll put a few links below. These guys are extremely talented. Don't know why things really didn't take off for them like they should have. I mean, these guys should have been on radio and right up there with all the other popular names you know of. So check out BR549. Next up, Grindcore. Switching gears, Brutal Truth. This was called For the Ugly and Unwanted. This is Grindcore. This was from the Sounds of the Animal Kingdom tour. You can see right there. Shot with 5 cameras. All live from Australia. Some of the shows were in America. Just, it's a solid release from, I think, 2009, maybe. Came out on Seasons of Mist. If you're a Brutal Truth fan, great live band. I was happy I got to see them before they disbanded, but check them out. Next up, we have Centuries of Torment by the mighty Cannibal Corpse. This came out around their time of their 20th anniversary, which was, 10 years ago maybe? What I like about these DVDs, I'll show you the inside here. This is like a history of the band up until the time this came out. It's got live shit. It's got behind the scenes stuff. It's got the guys going back to the old stomping grounds of Buffalo, New York. It's got the nice embossed, whatever cover on the front. This is about, what did it say on here? 7 hours and 20 minutes of Cannibal Corpse. Anything you ever wanted to know, band members, where they came from, their personal lives, where they recorded albums, what gear they use, it's all right here. I highly recommend this. Can't recommend this enough. It's the history of the band from start to finish on 3 DVDs and just chock full of material. Some of the songs are repeated, but it's through different time periods. So it's very cool to show that, along the way, how they've evolved as a band. There are some Chris Barnes stuff in here, Corpse Grinder, you name it. It's all here. So check out Cannibal Corpse. Centuries of Torment. Highly recommend. Especially if you're new to death metal and you're new to Cannibal Corpse, get this and just start here, and your journey will take you in many different places. Next up, Wake Up and Smell the Carcass, the band cover of Kennedy's head. I've seen this in some places. I think this was a CD as well, and they had to black out the cover because people found the cover offensive. So this has some of the videos from the Heartwork era. It's also got a booklet talking about Carcass as well. It's got footage from the Gods of Grind tour in 1992 and the Grind Crusher tour from '89. So it's unedited. It's very raw. It's exactly what you would want from a Carcass DVD. It's about 2 hours long, I think. So if you're a fan of Carcass, check it out. Switching gears to some hardcore. This is The Long Road Home by Converge. This came out in 2003. It's got the art's always great with Converge releases. It's one of these, I believe it's a 2-sided DVD, if I remember right. Yeah. So side 1 is kind of like the documentary, and then I think side 2 is like the bonus shit. So it's a dual-sided DVD that you can kind of flip over and watch one side, flip to the other. Raw live stuff going back, I think the earliest on here, 94 maybe. What I liked about this is they played one song. Well, they played many songs in these shows, but they'll show one song in one location, one song in another location. It mixes it up. It's not like it's one long show, which is very cool. But there's on the back, if I didn't show it, Converge, like I said, always take a lot of pride and joy in their presentation of their art, and huge fan of Converge if you're not familiar with them. One of those hardcore type bands that kind of dip their toe into metal. A lot of metalheads love Jane Doe, as do I. Kind of changed the game for how metal and hardcore records should sound. Kurt Ballou, he's a big time producer, has his own studio. He's in Converge. He says a lot of times bands will come into the studio and he'll say, so what kind of sound you looking for? And they'll say, I want it to sound like Jane Doe, which I'm sure is flattering, but I'm guarantee he gets tired of hearing that, and that's him on the cover. So if you're not familiar with Converge, you can start there. Next up is Decibel's 100th issue show, DVD, the movie. There's the back. It's got some commentary. It's got interviews with many of the bands involved. The bands on this, so if you don't know, Decibel had a big party for their 100th anniversary show, and to notate that, they had a big concert. So it's got Evoken, Tombs, Municipal Waste, Repulsion, Pig Destroyer, A lot of Pig Destroyer. I think Baroness was here too. It was the first time they had been live. At least John. It was the first time John Baisley's been performed live after their horrific bus accident. So and Converge is on here also. So it's a great concert. Last night, actually, they had their 200th anniversary or 200th issue show streaming on YouTube, and it started with streaming this. So I'll link that below as well. Decibel Magazine's magazine I still subscribe to. I think they've slipped a little bit in their reviews, but I've found a ton of great bands through Decibel Magazine over the years. You know, a lot of times if they give something an 8 out of 10 or above, I just add it to my list of stuff to check out. So check that out, and if you go watch the 200th issue show, you can watch this as well. It's about 5 hours total, so it's well worth it. Next up, we have Dillinger Escape Plan, Miss Machine, the DVD. This was around the time when this album, in my opinion, is when Dillinger Escape Plan started to kind of turn the corner and become a little more accessible, as accessible as a band like Dillinger Escape Plan can be. I think with Panasonic Youth, Unretrofied, both those songs are just very catchy, very melodic, yet chaotic at the same time in true Dillinger Escape Plan fashion. But if you are not familiar with Dillinger Escape Plan and you want to start here, you can either go backwards and check out the earlier chaotic material, or you can go forward and check out the more accessible material. But a great band nonetheless. They're not very well known for their live shows. I never did get to see them live, but they broke up many years ago. I don't know if they'll ever reunite, but if they did, they could probably make a little bit of money. So, last but not least for part one, we've been yapping for a bit now. I try to keep these under a certain time limit, but this is On the Road with the Dropkick Murphys. This is another one that came out in 2003, and I like a lot because it's so long. This is 260 minutes. What's that? 4 hours and 20 minutes, if my math is right. This is live stuff, behind the scenes, music videos, you name it. It's got everything you would want in the Dropkick Murphys up to 2003. It's live shit. It shows them slapping each other in the face before their shows, cooking out and partying, doing goofy backstage stuff, live, which if you've never seen the Dropkick Murphys live, highly recommend. Probably my top 10 live bands of all time. They just bring such an energy that is unmatched, in my opinion. And they're like a 7-piece, 8-piece band at times. They have a bagpipe player, and when they come on stage, it's just like seeing that many people firing on all cylinders at once, and bringing forth that energy. The crowd sings along to every song. It's a mixture of hardcore and punk, some Celtic type stuff. Just great band. They seem like great dudes. If you've never heard Dropkick Murphys, you definitely need to check out Dropkick Murphys. That's it for part one of my DVD collection. I have, where are they? I think I have some more. Oh, they're way back there. Give you a sneak peek, maybe. They're right there. It's probably, I'll try to fly through part two, maybe, and get through them all, because I also have Blu-rays I want to get to, as well as a stack of stuff I've recently got in the mail. So all kinds of videos coming up. Been away for a little bit, went on a little vacation to Tennessee. Highly recommend Tennessee if you have never been. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy the DVDs. And if there's any I'm missing that I need to check out, let me know below. Have a good one. Later.